Welcome back, friends. So, we currently have done it. We've gotten 5,000 cave nightshades. So, I was pretty slow with this. It probably took me about 20 hours, but it was easily attainable in about 15 to 16 hours to get this many cave nightshades. So, I'm going to go ahead and use about 15 hours for any calculations that I'm doing on this. But we're going to go ahead and process these into weapon poison plus pluses. I do have the Dungeoneering scroll that gets me extra potions and it saves me some ingredients sometimes, so I'm expecting to get about 55 to 56,000. Oh, sorry, 5,500 to 5,600. That would be insane if that Dungeoneering scroll was that good. But about 5,600 should be about right. So I currently have 20 mil into my pouch, and I do need to buy coconut milk as well as poison ivy berries. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and get back to you to see how much I actually spent on supplies to make these 5,000. Okay, so if you can see from the prices here, 20 mil was not enough to make 5,000 of these. I am getting 5,600 of the coconut milks because they do not get saved ever with this process, whereas the poison ivies do get saved just as often as the cave nightshades do get saved. I should have a couple extra with 5,600, but we will figure that out when I get finished up with this. It did cost about 34 million to buy all these. They should be slow buying. I checked the margins, so this should be enough to slow buy over time. So we're going to go ahead and let that wait in the GE offer. And as well, we needed to buy 5,000 poison ivy berries. These cost about 10.5 million, and as you can see, they are slow buying, and we're just going to let that happen over time. I currently have something to do tonight anyhow, so I wasn't going to be able to finish up all 5,000 of these tonight. So might as well just let it happen slowly over time and save a little bit of GP. I do want to show you how I do that though. Disregard all the other things that I have in there. I just buying a couple things just to check out the prices. So I buy one of the item and then sell one of the item. What you're going to want to buy is for 1 GP over whatever the sell price was. This is currently the best offer anybody has in the GP for it, or in the GE for it. So you want to go 1 GP above what the best offer was before, if it has decent margins like this. If it's a little bit smaller margins, like only 3 or 4 GP, you're going to want to just hit that price, the best price somebody else has to offer for it. You'll slowly buy those over time. Usually the smaller margins have a lot higher trade quantity, trade volume. So you will give them eventually. The person that put the offer in first before you, they're going to get first priority on it a little bit. But you still do get a little bit. So say somebody sells 1,000 of them, you'll still get like maybe 100, 200 of them until that person that already had the offer in slowly completes their order, and then you'll become the highest priority. So I'm just going to go ahead and let these slow by over time and come back to you probably tomorrow when they're all bought. I was just finishing up some of the Metaphos stuff that I was doing, and looks like the coconut milks and the poison ivy berries did buy for the price that I had them in for. So these bought for 33,800,000, and the poison ivy berries bought for 10 million. So that was about 45 million. As you can see here, I have 5,634,000 coins left, and I will be making up all the poison plus pluses and seeing how much money I can make from this. Hey, sorry about my voice. It's pretty early in the morning right now. I just was actually playing some games with my girlfriend last night, playing some Pandemic and Settlers of Catan. We ended up getting those games just this weekend, so we started playing them and started figuring out the rules to them, as well as seeing Wonder Woman. So I was not able to finish this up on the day before, so today I am actually finishing up making all these weapon poison plus pluses. And I was expecting with the 10% increase from the scroll of cleansing from Dungeoneering to only make about 5,500, because 5,000, 10% would be 5,500, and then if you 10% the ones that you saved again, it ended up being 5,555. But I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page right now. It does say a 10% chance of saving a secondary ingredient, but it also says in practice it's more like 13%. So this is not actually luck of getting more than 5,600. So I am going to buy an extra 100 coconut milk. I probably should have done this beforehand. I'm just going to instant buy them. 100 of them isn't going to be that big of a deal. I am going to be spending another 6 to 700k. Okay, so 650k that I spent. So that puts me down to oh, I have that off. 4,974,731. So just because I made a little bit extra, the poison ivy berries may or may not get all the way up to this amount. Seeing as how the percentage chance is more around 13% chance, it still should be enough because I had 5,000 cave nightshades to start out with and 5,000 poison ivy berries. So I might have to buy a couple extra just from variability with only 5,000 potions, but this shouldn't be too bad, and I may have a couple extra coconut milk at the end, but we will see while we're doing it. One other thing that I would like to mention though is I do not actually have the factory set on right now. I do have 3 of the 5 pieces, but I didn't see a purpose to getting the 4th and the 5th piece. They cost a lot, and the only thing they give you is a small XP buff on your herb lore. But I could have been getting approximately, I think it's 8.5 XP per potion that I'm making here, because when you wear the full factory outfit, it actually gives you a percentage chance, or no, it always gives you an XP drop whenever you're making these weapon poison plus pluses unfinished. I believe it's about 8.5 XP. So with 5,500, I would be getting about probably 45,000 experience, maybe 50,000 experience. So take that into consideration that you would be getting even more experience if you're wearing the full factory set, assuming that you have it in your bank. It's probably not worth going out and getting just for this, unless if you're planning on doing a lot of weapon poisons. Okay, so finished up all the cave nightshades, and I ended up with 5,648. I am going to be using the factory set again, like I was mentioning, because if you were wearing at least 3 pieces, it will give you a percentage chance to make a 4-dose potion instead of a 3-dose potion when you are making the actual finished potions. So when end results, you will see some of my weapon poison plus pluses are going to be 4-dose. It's because I'm going to be wearing the factory set while making them. But I'll get back to you when I finish up all these. I may have to buy a couple extra poison ivy berries before actually selling though. Okay, so I am kind of screwing up a little bit. I did want to come back for you guys so that I could show you right here. I am about to get 100 herb lore. This is still a virtual level. They obviously haven't released a 120 herb lore update, but still a nice little increase. I do want to show you though, I have made about 2,000, I would say, 2,000 potions, and I was just thinking about it, and I should totally be using a portable well right now. I was doing it here because I wanted to get some reputation. I did get 5,000 reputation from doing this, but it really seeing as how I'm trying to profit off of this a little bit, I should have been using a portable well. It gives you a 5% increase in your amount of potions that you make. So with about 2,000 made, I probably should have had about another 100 potions, which was about another 200k that I was missing out on just because I was stupid. So I'm going to be currently moving to Lumbridge for the remaining 3,500 so that I can get a portable well. I know a lot of people put them down at combat academies. I'm going to go ahead and find one of those and finish it up there. Really quick clip here. I did just run out of poison ivy berries. I do have about 60 weapon poison plus pluses left, but using the well here, you get 230 XP drops. Just wanted to show that real quick. So as you can see here, all of the cave nightshades are now gone. I did come back to the GE and bought another 100 poison ivy berries, of which I used 59. So I used 5,059 poison ivy berries, and I also bought 5,700 coconut milk with 52 left over. So I used a total of 5,648. And I have over 5,000 weapon poisons, as well as 703 weapon poison plus fours. So this is going to be a pretty nice price check right here. You do have to take into account before I do this that I did spend, I believe it's just over 45 million on this. But let's deposit this all in. Oh baby, 111 million. If I had been using portable wills, I know I said 200,000, but I should have put an annotation on the screen. It was actually 2 million that I lost out on. I lost out on 2 million GP because I was being an idiot for an hour and just didn't think about portable wells at all. But all in all, 45 million into 111 million. I got all of this done in about 5 hours of making potions or so. I am going to sell this all off just to make sure that the prices aren't extremely fluctuating or anything. I am also going to check to see whether or not it's worth decanting into 3 or 4 dose, see which one is going to be making me a little bit more profit. I am going to sell off, instant sell the supplies real quick, just so that you could see the exact supply cost of doing this. I did start out with 50 million before this, so it is just under 45 million to make 5,000 cave nightshades into all the poison, weapon poison pluses. You obviously don't have to spend that all at once. You don't need 45 million to convert them slowly. Just if you want to do it all in one go, 45 mil, and then you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what the prices are and come back when I figure out how much money I've actually made. As you can see down in the bottom right here, 3,403 weapon poison plus fours were sold. I did have to mess around with this a little bit, and it took the majority of the day to sell all these weapon poison pluses. I tried for about half of the day to be selling them in the 3-dose potion because they were selling for a lot higher price per dose, and nobody was buying them at all. So I switched over to the 4-dose, and it ended up selling very slowly. A couple minutes ago, as you can see here, it went from 12.77 to 32. So I did get one person to buy about 2,000 of them, it looks like. So you just have to kind of be patient and wait for somebody to buy a lot of them. This is not something that you use very rapidly, so most people buy only 50 to 100 at a time, it seemed, just from all the Grand Exchange updates that I was getting. I was getting continuously small little updates of 1, or right here is about 10. So how much did I actually make here? So 68 million, that brings me up to an even 100 million. As you remember from the beginning, I do have to withdraw 50 million here. Let's actually do it so I don't accidentally pick up the wrong amount. Deposit these into my bank, and it leads me to have quite a bit of money. It's not quite as much as I was expecting. I was hoping for 60k or 60 million, because just from what I saw to start out with, but it's still 50,616,000. I'm not gonna scoff at that. It took me about 5 hours to process all those, so it's about 10 million per hour once you're to the processing point. It does take quite a bit of time to actually gather all of those cave nightshades up. So I would say that's probably about 20 to 25 hours worth of work. So 2 to 2.5 mil per hour. I'm going to be doing a guide on exactly how to get all of the supplies that you need. This is just my loot from the 5,000 of them. So that's about 50 mil. Also, it should be about 51 to 52 mil if I had remembered to use a portable well the entire time. But I guess can't really change the past, unfortunately. If you guys are all looking for a guide on how to do these, I'll put it in the link down below. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. I would love it if you guys leave a like and a comment on this video, see what I did right, what I did wrong, anything you'd like to say. As always, have a good one.